against her because she threatened to put a gun to your head.
This is Judge Judy. Hairdresser Sean T. Jackson Washington is suing salon owner Lucretia Munns for defamation of character and loss of business.
Judge, this is case number 52 on the calendar in the matter of Jackson Washington versus Munns. Parties have been sworn in. Ladies can have a seat.
Thank you. Ms. Washington, you're a hairdresser.
Yes.
And so is the defendant, correct?
Yes.
For some time, you rented a chair in the defendant's salon. When did you start renting a chair to do your work in her salon?
It was around a year and a half ago.
How much did you pay her? Did you pay her per week, per month?
$100 a week.
And Ms. Munn, do you own the salon or do you lease it from someone else?
I own the business, but I lease the shopping center where my salon stands.
That's what it's your business, I understand that, but the premises is not a premises that you own, you lease it.
Correct.
How long have you leased the premises and from whom?
For 2 years from Jake's Plaza. The landlord's name is Abraham.
How much do you pay in rent?
$1,200.
And I assume you have a lease.
Yes, I do.
When does that lease?
It's a month in April.
April of 2020, it started to go month to month. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Prior to the governor of California shutting down because of the pandemic all beauty salons, was Miss Washington paying her $100 a week on a regular basis?
She sure was.
And the governor closed beauty salons in March.
March 19th,
correct?
Yes.
Very close to the time when your lease was up in the salon.
Yes.
And you were going month to month.
Correct.
Did you pay rent to Jake's Plaza for the salon in April of 2020?
I paid it in June for April. Yes.
That's not what I asked you. You did not pay it in April.
No, I did not pay it in April.
Did you pay rent to Jake's in May?
No, I did not pay it in May.
Then the governor allowed salons to open.
Correct. For 2 weeks.
Did you pay anything in June?
Yes.
How much?
$3,600.
Did the governor permit salons to remain open?
No. He shut them down 2 weeks later.
And that's after you had paid up your rent?
Correct.
Because you hadn't paid rent in April and May. He or Jake's Plaza was not going to let you back into the building unless you made up the rent. Now we're all set on that. Now, it is your claim that when COVID struck, you decided that it was a perfect opportunity for you to try to branch out on your own and have a mobile beauty salon.
Yes.
Very inventive, very smart. It is your claim that the defendant has a couple of items that you left behind in the salon when it was closed.
Not true.
Yes.
Some hair extensions.
Yes.
No, she didn't leave any extensions.
Yes. Now, did you have an opportunity to go into the salon and take your items? The answer is yes.
Yes.
And I assume that you had a lot of items there because you were working there.
I didn't have a lot of items. Basically, the things that I had was underneath my station.
And where were these extensions?
The extensions were in a bag that was under next to, inside of the salon.
Where?
They were next to a microwave that was in a cabinet underneath.
That's my hair. She's not telling the truth.
Just a second. You should have taken them. Do you have her hair extensions?
No, I do not. I sell hair.
Do you have her hair extensions? No. You should have taken them when you left. Okay. The next part of your lawsuit is defamation of character.
Yes.
How did she defame you?
Facebook is you have thousands of people who are your friends on Facebook, and whatever...
I don't have 1,000. Just a second. So listen to me. I know what Facebook is.
Okay.
I don't have 1,000 friends. That's why I'm not on Facebook. You know, it would get very lonely in there with the 1 or 2 people that like me and that I like. So I communicate with them on the phone. So you're lucky if you have thousands of people who watch you on Facebook. My question was a simple one. How did she defame you? What did she say, and in what venue did she say it?
She displayed on Facebook that I owed her $1,200 in booth rent.
Never.
And she had all these stylists and different people commenting. I have...
Just 1 second. May I see what you're complaining about?
Yes.
Because what she says is you owe her $1,200 in booth rent, and I would assume that that's booth rent after the governor had closed the salon and you were not paying rent.
No,
but
still...
after June, when you started to pay rent, and you did make up your rent. So I would, let me see, I have to do a Karnak. Anybody know who Karnak was? What's in this envelope? Posts were made sometime after June.
Yes, they were actually made on the 13th of September.
Of September?
Yes.
Oh, she must have been very angry. Okay.
Yes.
May I see that, please? Yeah. Well, you know, just like you stiffed your landlord, she did the same to you. That's exactly what happened.
Judge Judy,
may I please see what you're complaining about?
Okay. This is her question on Facebook, and...
Okay, just a second. This question is for independent hair salons. Is that what you're complaining about, where she defamed you?
No, I have 18 pages.
Show me where she defamed you on Facebook.
These are all Facebook.
She rented out rooms. Where is your name in there?
She never said my name because she knew proper protocol on Facebook. However, I do have a witness here that read what she put on Facebook. She called me.
May I see your name anywhere?
She knew not to say my name, and she told her witnesses not to say my name.
Okay, that's dismissed. Let's get to your counterclaim. Ms. Munns, this is your counterclaim. You say that she filed a restraining order against you that had no basis.
No basis at all, Your Honor.
Miss Washington, pay attention.
I'm paying attention.
Did you file a restraining order against her? The answer is yes.
Yes, because I have a Facebook.
Just a second. You say you filed the restraining order against her because she threatened to put a gun to your head.
Yes,
That's what you say?
Yes.
Did she say that to you?
No,
personally?
She said it
on Facebook. Or did she write it somewhere? I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Speak the truth. If anyone thought they could sneak up on my husband, I'm pressing something upside the head. Okay. You felt threatened by that. Is that what you're telling me?
I felt threatened by everything that she said, from calling my husband and fake on Facebook.
Okay.
I have my witness here that read it on Facebook, and she knew, along with the 4 people on my voicemail, that she was talking about me. And my husband.
Miss Washington.
Yes.
I've dismissed that lawsuit.
All right.
Now I'm on her counterclaim. Her counterclaim is that you filed a false protective order against her. Your defense is that while she was careful on Facebook not to mention you by name, you believed she was talking about you when she threatened to put something against somebody's head.
Yes.
That's what you're telling me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, Ms. Munns, I'm going to deal with the part of your counterclaim that deals with filing a false restraining order. That's dismissed.
Why is that dismissed?
I'm going to explain it to you.
Okay.
Because the plaintiff believed that as a result of your Facebook posts, she believed that you were talking about her. Now, you probably were.
I was absolutely not.
And when there is a hint of a threat, which there was,
can I please pick this up? Because that is
no.
I'm literally
telling you, I read it. She felt threatened, reasonably so, because the other Facebook posts, while they don't mention her by name, I believe she had reason to believe.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You didn't pay your rent when you were supposed to, and the only way you got back into your shop was to pay up the 2 months that you didn't pay. That's when you got angry and said to her, I want my rent.
And later today,
you ate the steak. You and your mother lived in a place and paid rent. And then you continued to live there and not pay rent. Why would you think you're entitled to the rent back?
Hairdresser Sean T. Jackson Washington says salon owner Lucretia Munns defamed her on Facebook. Lucretia is countersuing for stolen and damaged property, rent, and loss of business.
Now, what property did she take without permission?
A human hair wig that she wore and used.
Okay, just a sec. Hey, tell me the things that she took without your permission. A wig, and what else?
And a blow dryer.
Do you have those things, Miss Washington?
Yes, I have them with me today.
You have the wig and the blow dryer.
Yes.
Give them to her.
We don't want...
Give them to her.
She's been personally wearing them. They're saturated. I can't resell them. That's saturated.
Done.
That no one is going to repurchase it.
Done. Oh, for rent. For what period of time are you alleging that she owes you rent?
It's also for damages to the floor.
She owes
me
for what period of time
from
do you
April
allege she
1st
owes you rent?
until she said that she was holding the chair until July.
That case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you very much.
What about the damage to my floor?
Did you pay rent in? Did you?
Yes, I did, and here's my canceled checks.
No.
Here's all my canceled checks.
Just a second.
I paid them all.
No.
I paid all the rent.
Yeah, Miss Munn, let's understand this. You didn't pay rent in April. You didn't pay rent in May.
It says right
When
here, rent for July, May, and April. So I did pay it.
You're not getting over
I'm not trying to get over on you. I'm trying to explain something to you.
Then you have to,
can I please explain this to you? When we were shut down, we didn't have money to pay those bills. As soon as we got our pandemic relief to pay our bills, she was still responsible for her portion of the rent. She rents a space to run a business out of, just like at your house and your business. I paid it.
You know, I'm not a moderator. Cut off her mic. You didn't pay your rent when you were supposed to, and the only way you got back into your shop was to pay up the 2 months that you didn't pay, and then the governor shut you down again. That's when you got out. We're done. Finito.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
We were all supposed to pay our rent.
Jealous of what I got planned, my mobile hair salon.
I wish her the best in that.
She was paid, and she was trying to get money from me. She was trying to double dip.
At the end of the day, you have to fulfill your obligations as a salon independent contractor.
The friendship is done forever.
All parties in the matter of Taylor versus Wild, step to the podium, please.
Michael Taylor is suing his former landlord, Lucy Wild, for the return of rent and relocation costs after an illegal lockout.
Let me see if I understand this case. It seems, Mr. Taylor, that you and your mother moved into a premises as tenants in September of 2019, premises that was owned by the defendant. At the time you moved into that place, that area, you had, in fact, seen it. And it was, in fact, according to you, in a state of disrepair, needed a window. But you moved in anyway. And you lived there in September, and you paid rent.
Yes.
And how much rent did you pay?
It was $1,400 a month.
You paid $1,400 in September, $1,400 in November.
Yes.
And I assume that both you and your mother work in order to make this money.
My mother was not working at the time. I was working.
What kind of work do you do?
I am a bartender, waiter in the hospitality industry, and I also am a music producer, mix engineer, which I do freelance.
Okay. Then in December, you and your mother were still living there, but you did not pay rent.
No,
correct?
That's not true. I paid rent.
In December?
In December.
Now, at some point, you called some housing authority
Yes.
to register complaints about the house. When did you do that?
I made my complaint in December.
Okay. As a result of that complaint, the city where you live sent out an inspector.
Yes.
And after the inspection, the premises were found to be premises that should not be rented.
Correct.
Is that correct, Ms. Wild?
Yes, it is.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If you are renting out an apartment and it's an illegal apartment, a court can't give you rent for that, even though he ate the steak. And, you know, I don't approve of eating the steak and then complaining.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Taylor says owes for the return of rent and relocation costs after an illegal lockout. Lucy is countersuing for unpaid rent.
Okay. Does anybody have a photograph of where you were living?
I do have some pictures, yes.
Could I see it, please?
Sure.
You and your mother lived there. You evidently thought it was nice enough for you and your mother to live there. It looks like it's a sort of an attic-y loft kind of place.
Correct. It was.
Is that correct?
It was a loft.
Does it have a bathroom?
It does.
It does. Okay, very good. But they said she shouldn't have been renting it because it probably wasn't zoned. I mean, the place looks totally reasonable. Okay, so after that, you knew, Miss Wild, that you shouldn't be renting it, even though he and his mother were perfectly comfortable there, September, October, November, and December, because you stayed January, February, March, April, and May, and didn't pay rent, right?
I paid rent in January, and then I didn't pay rent in February and on, yeah.
Well, okay, so you paid rent in January. Why?
I didn't...
You liked it.
Well,
I did
like it. And
Great.
I paid rent.
So you liked it? Then why did you stop in February?
Because the city told me that it was an illegal unit and it was illegal for her to collect rent.
Now, you're suing because you want your money back that you paid her.
Yes.
You ate into a restaurant and you order a steak, and the steak comes out and you taste it and you say, gee, this steak is terrible. I can't eat this steak. And you call the wait staff over. You're that business, and you say, I can't chew this steak. It feels like rubber. I'm sending it back. You are perfectly within your rights not to pay for it. Not if you eat the steak and then call over the wait staff and say, you know what, I ate that steak. I really didn't like it, and I'm not going to pay for it. You and your mother lived in a place, and while you were living there, you paid rent. And then you continued to live there and not pay rent. Why would you think you're entitled to the rent back? Had you ever rented that space before, Miss Wild?
Yes, one other time. That was news to me that it was not a registered rental when he...
And when you called the whatever housing authority you called, what was your complaint?
My complaint was that I was still missing the window because she hadn't installed the window. And, well, that was it. Because after months of trying to get them to do the work, I did research on habitability and tenant rights, and having an open window like that could be an issue and be deemed as an illegal unit. So that was the initial complaint.
Closed captioning sponsored by Have You Been Cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Now, you understand, Miss Wild, you have a countersuit, and your countersuit is for the time that Mr. Taylor and his mother lived there without paying rent. But you do understand, Miss Wild, that if you are renting out an apartment and it's an illegal apartment, for whatever reason, a court can't give you rent for that. You do understand that, right? That would be silly. I mean, if the state says you're not allowed to rent that apartment, and what your countersuit is for the rent that he didn't pay when he was living there, I can't do that, even though he ate the steak. And, you know, I don't approve of eating the steak and then complaining. Do you understand, Mr. Taylor?
I do.
Good.
Coming from the hospitality.
Your claim is dismissed, as is your countersuit. We're done. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
Her car was totaled. She ended up in the hospital the day of the accident. Was there insurance on it? If not, I'm going to make you look so ridiculous.
There was no insurance on it.
Judge Judy.
Reason why I called housing authority was because she hadn't done work for months that was making my house uninhabitable.
No, they had a gorgeous place. It was beautiful.
It was like living in a circus.
I think that's what they do.
I was due relocation costs because that's why I didn't move.
They're just squatters.
Her car was totaled. She ended up in the hospital. She was in physical therapy for a long time.
The crash had question marks.
The day of the accident, was there insurance on it?
Yes, ma'am, there was insurance on it.
If not, I'm going to make you look so ridiculous.
There was no insurance on it.
And a driver won't yield.
I took responsibility for the car.
You took responsibility because the accident was your fault.
This is Judge Judy. Sharice Riley is suing fellow motorist Zero Leva for running into her car when he ran a red light.
Judge, this is case number 65 on the calendar in the matter of Riley versus Leva. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am.
Miss Riley, whose car were you driving on the night of this accident?
It was my car.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 2011 Nissan Altima.
Did you have insurance on the car on the night of the accident?
Yes.
You had liability insurance. The insurance company didn't pay you for your car.
Not the car, but my bodily injuries, yes.
How much did your insurance company pay you for your injuries?
$5,000.
Did you have a lawyer or did you just settle with them?
I had gotten a lawyer.
Mr. Leyva, whose car were you driving on September 11th, 2019?
It was a coworker of mine. I was trying to buy the car the next day.
Don't tell me what you were going to do, what you should have done. Whose car was it?
It was a coworker of mine.
And your coworker didn't have insurance on the car that you were driving?
Yes, he did.
May I see proof of the insurance?
Yeah, it's on the... Of course. I believe the insurance is right here, underneath on the police report. It's AAA insurance, and then the policy number is right here as stated.
Did you try to contact his insurance company?
My insurance did, and so did my lawyer.
And what was the result of that?
They both said that there was no insurance on it.
I'm going to call up her lawyer, sir. That's very easy for me to do. Do you understand, Mr. Leyva?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not going to be easy. Was there insurance on the car?
Yes, there was, ma'am.
On the date of this? Fine. If not, I'm going to make you look so ridiculous because you know whether or not there was paid insurance on this car that was a valid insurance policy. You know that because she couldn't use the insurance on that car because it was not valid at the time, either because your coworker didn't pay the premium or whatever.
I bought the car the next day after the accident, ma'am. I took responsibility for the car. I mean,
just a second, that's not my question, Mr. Leyva. You bought the car the next day. On the day that you drove it, that night, was there insurance on it?
Yes, ma'am, there was insurance on it.
Not the day you bought it.
No.
The day of the accident.
Yes, there was insurance on the car the day of the accident.
Okay. May I have the name and telephone number of your lawyer?
It's actually in my phone, if I could get it from my phone.
Yes, sure. Absolutely.
Her name is Jennifer, and the number is 424.
Jennifer what?
I'm not sure of her last name.
How did you get this lawyer?
I have the Jacoby and Myers papers. They're right here.
It was through Jacoby and Myers?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get a letter from Jacoby and Myers indicating that they had no insurance?
No. They had called me through everything and had told me that he did not have insurance.
Doesn't answer the phone. Yeah, there's no question, Mr. Leyva, that there was no insurance on your car. You have a counterclaim. That's how I know there was no insurance on your car, because your counterclaim owes me the value of the car, which you didn't own, according to you, the night that it was in an accident. You did sign the counterclaim, did you not?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were stupid enough to buy a car that was totaled? Is that what you're telling me? You bought a car the next day, which is what you just told me, that you bought the car the next day, and you're countersuing because you say the value of the car is zero, but you bought it the next day.
Yeah, I bought it the next day because my wife and I were originally planning on getting this car. However, we got into this car accident.
You and your wife's not here, right?
No, she's at home taking care of the baby.
Yeah. Listen, the two of you idiots, according to you, went out late at night with an 8-month-old baby.
No, it was just me.
Just a second. You went out, according to you, according to your statement, you and your idiot wife went out late at night to a gas station because you had to buy distilled water for your baby. Well, a normal person, a person with a half a brain, late at night, if they needed distilled water for the baby, the wife stays home with the 8-month-old baby, and the husband goes and gets distilled water, if that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
Late at night with an 8-month...
Me, nor was my child in there. It's right here on the police report. It's literally just me in the car. And I went because that's the only car that I had at the time, and I'm the husband, I provide, so I went out late at night to get the distilled water.
You said that the car was undrivable after this, Mr. Leyva. It was undrivable. It was totally taken off the axle. So what I'm asking you is, why did you buy it the next day?
Because the agreement with me and the coworker was to buy the car. Originally, I took it out that night for a test drive.
You know I don't believe a word you're saying to me. Do you know I don't believe a word you're saying to me?
I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's literally how it happened. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm an idiot, but it's just that's how it was. Well, literally, we had an agreement to test drive the car, and I bought it the next day. I could have easily been like, hey, man, I'm sorry, like, I'm not buying this car. It's totaled, but I took responsibilities for that, my actions, and bought the car off of my coworker. You took responsibility because the accident was your fault. It wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. It's on the police report. It says nobody at fault. Listen to me, Mr. Leyva. Somebody has to be responsible. I have a feeling that the person responsible for this is the person that had no insurance because she ended up in the hospital with 3 dislocated discs. She was in physical therapy for a long time. Her car was totaled, and according to you, you bought your car the next day. Why anybody who sits on this side of the bench would have a problem with your story of buying a totaled car the next day when, according to you, there was insurance on the car, which could have paid to have the car either repaired or paid for something, and you paid for it the next day. I just don't buy it. Unless the accident was your fault and you felt responsible. And there wasn't insurance, so you paid the coworker anyway, which I'm not so sure of. Anyway, you were at a 4-way intersection. According to you, you were making a left turn. Yes. Go ahead. Let's take it from there, Miss Riley. The east and west had turned green, so I was waiting for my turn. Once the left turn signal turned green, I had went when I was halfway in between the intersection and where I was turning into. That is when we had collided. And what collided with what? He had collided with me. There's a diagram right here of me turning, and he had gone through and hit me. My car had been right on this side, while his car was where my car was turning. What hospital were you taken to? I was taken to Desert Valley Hospital. Were you taken by ambulance? Yes. Did you stay there? I was there for a couple of hours, and then they had released me. Do you have the report from the hospital? I do have the hospital papers. I'd like to see it. Okay, now I want to see the police report. Is there a second page to this police report? Yes. What does that mean, special information, cell phone in use? Was anybody using a cell phone? No. No. No, that's totally useless. Anyway, you received $5,000 for whatever medical injuries that you had, pain and suffering. So what you're suing for now is the value of your car. Did you have the car fixed or was it totaled? No, it's still totaled in my driveway. Did you get an estimate to fix it? I didn't. Okay. I do have pictures of them. I'd like to see it. Here's a picture of it on this side. Oh, I got it. Yeah, he hit you in the back. Got it. Do we have a value of a 2011 Nissan Altima? I tried to get it, but what is it? Yeah, got it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Thank you, we're finished.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I think it was a good decision.
Going straight forward, but I mean, she's the judge. She knows the law, and I mean,
my insurance had claimed that it was 100% his fault.
That's her interpretation of it. So I have no argument against her decision.
He even told me that it was my fault. Don't call the police. I'll give you cash.
It happened to happen, and I'm glad it's done. And it took about a year.
I'm hoping it's time to get my car fixed.
All parties in the matter of Vera versus Hardman. Step to the podium, please.
Carmen Vera Melgar is suing her ex-boyfriend, Michael Hardman, for an unpaid loan to pay his rent, utilities, and a motorcycle bill.
Miss Vera Melgar, how long were you and Mr. Hardman dating?
A year and a half.
Did you ever live together?
No. I would stay in his house and he would stay in mine.
This is about a loan that you allegedly made to him. Mr. Hardman says there was never a loan. You did things to help each other out. He helped you out. You helped him out. He acknowledges that you gave him a little bit of money, nothing close to what you say you gave him. While you were together, while you were dating, did you buy a car?
No.
Did you buy a car?
No, no.
So he never co-signed for a loan for you? He
did, but not for a car.
For what?
To take my car out of the impound because they impounded my car at his complex. Oh, no, that's different.
Just a second. So he co-signed for you to get your car out of impound?
No. It's 2 different times that I asked for that loan. When he co-signed, it was for my tuition for school. He never made a payment.
Co-signed for your tuition.
He never made a payment.
I didn't ask you whether he made a payment. I asked you whether he co-signed for a loan for you.
He did.
The answer would be yes.
Yes.
When did he co-sign for a loan for you?
August, September 2019.
And it was for that semester?
Fall semester.
Did you pay for the fall semester?
I did.
Or you haven't paid it back yet?
I paid.
So that loan is no longer in existence?
No.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, tell me, what other time he helped you out financially?
Never. He didn't help me.
Now tell me when you gave him money when he lost his job.
I let him borrow money. I did not give him money.
When? When?
It was a period from February 2019 to April 2019.
So February, March, and April, over a 3-month period.
Correct.
So you didn't give him money in one lump sum. It was different amounts of money for the 3 months.
Correct, when he was unemployed.
Okay. And how much did you give him in February?
Do you want to see the bank statements? I didn't add up by the month.
February.
I don't know.
You said you didn't give it to him in one lump sum.
No, altogether, it's over $3,000. I don't know exact.
No, exact is what I deal with.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
These are dates. He asked me for money.
When you went to a restaurant?
Yeah, when we went out.
I'm not getting involved in
I
that.
wasn't going to ask for it, but he wants to charge me for dates.
I don't care. What's next? And you're trying my patience.
Carmen Vera Melgar says ex-boyfriend Michael Hartman owes for a loan.
Now, I want you to tell me what you gave him in February.
I don't know.
You said you didn't give it to him in one lump sum.
No, altogether, it's over $3,000. I don't know exact.
No, exact is what I deal with. If you didn't give him money over in a specific time, you said he knew you were getting your tax returns. I'm reading your complaint. Your complaint said he knew you were getting a refund from your tax returns, and in the beginning, I loaned him $3,500 for his rent, motorcycle bill, and utilities. That's what you say. Now you tell me that it wasn't $3,500. You gave him money, or you say loaned him money, over a period of time, February, March, and April. Money, it was in February. I mean, did you keep a ledger? Did you keep a notebook? Did you keep a something?
My bank statements.
Well, I'd like to see them. I would like to see your bank statements for February. And point out, in February,
that's my
just
tax
show
refund?
me what, no, there's your tax refund. I want you to show me what you gave him in February.
Registration, rent.
No, you're just pointing to things.
You want me to add it up?
No, I want you to tell me from your bank statement, point, what you say were his bills that you paid.
This $500 is for rent.
Which one? Just a second. Just a second. So what you're telling me is on February 22nd, pay attention.
I am.
What you're telling me is on February 22nd, you withdrew $500 that you're ascribing that you gave to him.
Correct.
You say it's for rent. That doesn't say it's for rent.
It doesn't.
All that says is that you withdrew from your bank $500. What else do you ascribe to him?
These payments are for his motorcycle.
What is that? Okay.
Motorcycle
Card purchases,
payments.
that?
Or parts
Just
for
a
his
second.
motorcycle.
PayPal, Gums Motors, card $99.99. Is that your motorcycle, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did she also in February give you $500 in cash?
No, ma'am.
$100 for the motorcycle. What else is on that you would ascribe to him?
These are dates. He asked me for money. He was going to pay me back.
When you went to a restaurant?
Yeah, when we went out.
I'm not getting involved in
I
that.
wasn't going to
What
ask
else?
for it, but he wants to charge me for dates.
I don't care. Listen to me. I'm not getting involved in that, madam. Courts
Okay.
don't get involved in that.
Good.
What else is on this list?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Where?
There, Rashad.
Is that your first name, Mr. Hardman, Rashad?
No, ma'am, that's my middle name.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carmen Vera Melgar says ex-boyfriend Michael Hartman owes for a loan.
Listen to me. I'm not getting involved in that, madam. Courts don't get involved in that.
Good.
What else is on this list? So far, we have his motorcycle payment of $100.
The gym I paid for?
Okay. Is that your gym membership?
His.
Yes, ma'am. I
Sir.
added her to our gym
You
membership.
added her to your gym.
Yes, ma'am. And I do
Next.
have
Keep going. Keep going.
The Palm Avenue, Imperial Beach, the money I take out, it's for him, for his rent.
That's two payments. I
Time.
can do one. Hey, madam, you have to understand, courts don't get involved in this kind of nonsense when two people are dating with each other and they're intertwining money. So far, I have $100 for his motorcycle payment. Keep going. That's February. Let's go to March.
Hold on.
What is card purchase? Cox, what is that?
His bill.
For what?
For his internet bill.
Did she pay your internet bill, sir, for Cox?
that. Yes, ma'am.
I absolutely hate to do that. That's $181. Okay, let's go to February. Finish it up. What's next in February?
His motorcycle payment.
That's a second motorcycle payment in February. Where is that?
This is his motorcycle payment. This is another one for $300.
No.
The previous one was a part for his motorcycle. This is the motorcycle note.
Oh, got it. Okay. So the previous one was not his motorcycle payment, the $100. It was a part. Do you remember she paid for a part for your motorcycle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your motorcycle payment was to Landmark Financial?
Yes, ma'am.
$507 and $300. Okay, let's go to March.
So this is his electric bill as well, $201. And this is another
Was
payment.
that your electric bill? Did she pay your electric bill, sir?
No.
That's not my bill.
Let's go. Next March. Let's go March.
Oh, I got April.
So nothing in March.
Yes, but they're dates, so you said no. This is more money I transferred to him that he asked me.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Okay. Where?
There, Rashad.
Where is his name?
In orange.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Did she transfer money to you, $200 in April?
No, ma'am, I don't recall that.
That's your name.
Okay. Where?
There, Rashad.
Where is his name?
In orange.
Is that your first name, Mr. Hardman, Rashad?
No, ma'am, that's my middle name.
His name is Michael.
Michael Rashad.
I'm going to give her that, sir. Anything
Yes,
else, madam? So far, he owes you $1,288. What's next? And you're trying my patience.
It's money I took out.
Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. $1,288. And you're very, very lucky, madam. Don't give men any money anymore unless you get a note. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
Are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
When somebody isn't telling me the truth, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. You can't come into court and think that the judge is stupid.
Next Judge Judy.
I thought she was very fair.
It's not fair.
I really don't feel like I owe her anything
He's agreeing that I let him borrow money for rent.
because we did share a gym membership.
I was trying to help him out, not to be in the street.
I paid to get her car out of impound when she was arrested.
He got divorced, and we got into an argument.
And throughout time, I would help her.
He got kind of physical. He called the police, which are his neighbors, that people he knows.
It was all part of a relationship. I help her, she helped me, and that's how I look at it.
Oh, I'm going to be single forever?
I hope to never hear from her again.
A tenant's move-out went by the book.
At the end of the walkthrough, I said, "Is everything okay?" He said, "Everything looks fine."
Then the landlord rewrote the rules.
I told her I'd be back to reassess it.
When somebody isn't telling me the truth, the hair on the back of my neck stands up to her.
No, I didn't.
You can't come into court and think that the judge is stupid.
This is Judge Judy. Val McLemore says her former landlords, Vincent and Elizabeth Saldias, are wrongfully withholding her security deposit.
Judges, case number 60 on the calendar in the matter of McLemore versus Saldias. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Miss McLemore, you and your roommate were tenants of the defendants for 3 years. That's what I read.
Yes, ma'am.
Was this a private house?
Yes, it was.
How large a home was it?
2 bedrooms, 1 bath. It was fairly small.
And where do the defendants live? Do they live close by or far away?
Well, I don't know exactly where they live, but as far as I know, Oildale.
About how far is that from the rental property?
About maybe 15 miles.
And the first year that you lived there, you had a 1-year lease?
Yes, ma'am. And after that, there was
and then
we were just on a 30-day.
It converted to a month-to-month.
Right.
You want your security deposit back.
Yes, ma'am.
You lived there for 3 years. According to you, you paid your rent on time.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a $900 security deposit. You were supposed to get it back.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do a walkthrough at the end of your lease?
Yes, ma'am. I did a walkthrough with Mr. Saldias.
Mr. Saldias, did Miss McLemore and you conduct a walkthrough?
Did a quick walkthrough, and I told her I'd be back to reassess it.
I don't care whether it was quick or took 24 hours. Did anything prevent you from having a longer walkthrough?
Well, at that time, I had received a call from my wife that stated that they were ready to turn over the keys. So I took a drive to that side of town and did a quick walkthrough with them and told them I would be...
Listen, Saldias, understand this. I asked you a question. My question was, did anybody prevent you from doing a longer walkthrough?
No.
And when you did the walkthrough with the plaintiff, did you point out any problems to her?
Well, there were some obvious issues.
No, I want you to... I don't care whether there are obvious issues. I asked you whether you told or wrote down anything that you found that was a damage, whether you either told her verbally or wrote down someplace on that date, the date of the walkthrough, any negative thing that you found. Let's start quickly. Did you write it down?
No, I didn't.
Well, you're a landlord. You're supposed to write it down and give her a copy of the walkthrough.
I didn't know that was due at that particular moment. I thought there was 30 days that...
Well, what did you tell her that you found that was wrong with the house?
Well, I sent her an itemized list.
What did you tell her that I'm going to question is when? Date.
When they vacated, there was an itemized list. Let me pull it here.
Give me the date that you sent her an itemized list. They vacated the last day in March. Is that correct?
Correct.
What date did you send her an itemized list?
4/20/2020.
Well, 4/20 is 3 weeks later. Had she already made a demand for the return of her security? Of course she did. Right. And after she made a demand for her security back, you said, well, this is what I found wrong. My question to you, Mr. Saldias, is on the date of the walkthrough, which was what date?
I believe it was around the 12th of the month.
12th of March.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying, Mr. Saldias, is over a month later, you sent her a list of things that you found wrong. You didn't tell her anything on March 12th when you did the walkthrough.
I asked him. At the end of the walkthrough, I said, is everything okay? He said, everything looks fine. I said, well, how long will it be before I get my security deposit back? And he said, should be 2 or 3 days, shouldn't be long at all. Well, I waited 3 weeks before I made a phone.
Just a second. Mr. Saldias, I want you to be very careful with your answer to me. Do you remember Miss McLemore saying to you, does everything... A question.
I don't remember that specific wording, but...
I want to tell you something. Before you start fumfering around, I have a radar back here. When somebody isn't telling me the truth, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. Do you understand?
Yes.
Did Miss McLemore say to you, does everything look okay?
There were some items there that Miss McLemore and her roommate at the time, which I don't recognize the other lady here as being the roommate that was there when we rented to her, had pointed out to me. There's, and I've got evidence of that, of some of the repairs that needed to take place.
I don't care whether there were any repairs that had to take place. You're the landlord. I asked you a simple question. Did Miss McLemore say to you, does everything look okay? When can I get my security back? And you said 2-3 days.
At that time.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. At that time.
Okay.
He actually gave me a hug.
Just a second. So now you remember it.
They weren't bad tenants, but at the time that they were leaving, the yard wasn't done. I have pictures to show you. It cost us money to get those things done.
Just a second. If you are alleging that between the 12th and the time they moved out, which was the end of March, they caused some sort of damage to the property, I will look at that. Do you understand? I will also look at them to remedy whatever they did.
Okay. The other thing I'd like to point out is...
So now...
From the time that they provided the 30-day notice and the time that they vacated, they didn't pay me for that month of rent.
Just a second. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay. Right now, I'm talking about damage. Then I'm going to get to the 13 days that you are alleging they should pay you for because they gave you 30-day notice on April 12th, so you want to charge them for that rent. I'll get to that in a minute, Mr. Saldias.
Okay.
I want to see photographs of what you allege is the damage that they left when they left and receipts to fix it.
First off, there was I didn't notice it on the initial walkthrough, but there was window screens that were missing. I found 2 of them located in the garage that were beyond repair. There was a total of 4 of them. This is the cost to get those items repaired.
That's a problem for you.
Okay.
You should have noticed it. Take the statement, which I don't buy anyway. Next.
That is the 30-day. They could have never done the walkthrough on the 12th.
Next.
This is a 30-day that she provided, which clearly shows the date, and she could not have done the walkthrough on the 12th. If you see the documents dated the 13th, and that's in her handwriting.
Oh, okay, so that's the 13th. So yeah, I asked you, what date did you do the walkthrough?
Do you remember?
After. It was
first thing I asked you for was damages. I'm going to see what are the damages. First thing is nonsense. I don't even believe that receipt. Next, damages, pictures, and bills.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Here, let me get to the pictures.
That's what I would like to see.
Also,
and then the bills.
Also, the plaintiff alleged that we had rented the premises because a friend of mine allowed us to put a travel trailer on the property.
Listen to me. Don't try to get me off track. I don't get off track.
Well, no, but that picture also displays...
Show me the damage that you are alleging.
In this photograph of the backyard, you can note the height of the yard. And as you know, grass doesn't grow that quick in 2 weeks.
So far, you owe them $900. Now we're going to get to your friend's trailer. What's your friend's name?
Gonzalez.
Where does he live?
In Bakersfield.
How long has he had this trailer?
At the time, he had just purchased it.
Just a second. At what time?
At the time that it's...
Month. Mr. Saldias, you'll never get where I'm going. When did he purchase it? Month.
March.
I don't want you to say anything.
Okay.
Unless I'm looking at you and asking you a question. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go back to Mr. Saldias. He purchased the trailer in March, correct? Is that what your wife just told me? When did you find out that he had purchased the trailer?
Well, the date that he placed the trailer there is when he had purchased it.
That's not what he told me.
So he purchased it... Just a second. Please don't help me. So far, you're winning, right? So far?
So far.
He purchased it the same day you put it in the house.
Yes, he called me and he said he had purchased...
Because...
He had purchased a trailer and I asked him... He said, hey, can I put it on one of your properties on Wilson? And I said, better yet, I have a house that's on Chester that's available, and it would do me a favor so that the premises looked occupied. But he never took...
Great, that's what you told me. Just a second. That's what you told Mr. Gonzalez.
That is correct.
Is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
Now, how good a friend is Mr. Gonzalez?
Pretty good friend.
How good?
I mean, good enough to have done that favor for me. He didn't have to do it, you know.
He wasn't doing you a favor. You were doing him a favor.
Well, I mean...
Don't listen to me. You can't come into court and think that the judge is stupid and that...
I by no means think that you're stupid.
Very good. So he wasn't doing you a favor. You were either doing him a favor or charging him to park his trailer in the house.
Now,
which one is it? And then give me Mr. Gonzalez's...
Now you're
Then give me his phone number.
Now you're speculating, but...
Then give me his phone. Now give me Mr. Gonzalez's phone number.
Do you have a pen ready?
I do. You want to check that in your phone to make sure before I waste my time calling him?
Oh, there's no need to waste your
time. That's the right number?
You'll find that it's correct.
Very good. Terrific. I don't believe that's the number.
3661.
You want to check your phone? You want to check your phone?
He's a good enough friend
check
that I know his number. So
that's the right number.
You have another number for him?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Is Mr. Gonzalez's trailer still parked at the house?
No.
When did it move? Don't look at her. If you don't know the answer, look at me and say, I don't know the answer.
And later today.
Did your girlfriend have insurance on the car on that date?
I did not
Is not an answer. The answer is either a car had insurance or it didn't have insurance.
Val McLemore is suing her former landlords, Vincent and Elizabeth Saldias, for the return of her security deposit.
Okay, is Mr. Gonzalez's when did it move?
Asking you.
Don't look at her. If you don't know the answer, look at me and say, I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer. I know that it was moved off when the new... when the new tenants took possession.
When did the new tenants take possession?
May 1st.
Now back to Mr. Saldias. When did move his trailer?
I don't remember the specific date.
Well, you started to say when the new tenant moved in. That would be May 1st. Don't look at her, look at me. That would be May 1st, because nobody wants to rent a house and pay rent when you have a huge trailer sitting there.
And nobody wants to squat in a house that believes there's people living in it as well.
You owe her security deposit. You may make a whole bunch of excuses. You can't make excuses here. She lived there for 3 years. You told her she would get her security deposit, and then you made up a whole bunch of excuses not to give it to her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900.
Your Honor,
that was your security deposit, correct?
Correct.
I'm not speaking to you. Correct?
Correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I guess she found what she was looking for.
All my life, I've never, ever had to give back a security deposit.
I did a quick walkthrough at that time. I didn't really look at everything.
There was no rush. He was in no rush.
I wish everybody the best.
Bring your case to Judge Judy. She'll get him.
Step to the podium, please.
James Smith is suing fellow motorist Gary Maxwell Jr. for backing into his car in a grocery store parking lot.
Mr. Smith, this was an automobile accident that occurred in a parking lot on the 9th of September of this year.
Yes, ma'am, the 9th of September
of
this year.
What time of the day, sir?
It must have been about late afternoon, between 5:30 and 5:20.
What were the lighting conditions?
It was daylight.
Was it still light?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of car were you driving, sir?
A Nissan Frontier, 2019.
Which you had full coverage on, I assume.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you allege that the accident was caused by Mr. Maxwell's negligence.
Yes, ma'am.
Your insurance paid for it. We're going to find out why. But you had a $1,000 deductible, which came out of your pocket to fix the damage.
Yes.
Mr. Maxwell said that the accident was your fault. He didn't have any major damage to his vehicles, which is why he is not counterclaiming. Mr. Maxwell, what kind of car were you driving?
2008 Toyota Avalon.
Who owns that car?
My girlfriend, Debbie Antu.
Did your girlfriend have insurance on the car on that date?
I did not
Is not an answer. The answer is either a car had insurance or it didn't have her. Always a couple of days before, the check got lost in the mail. The dog ate the bill. The child flushed it down the toilet. There's always a reason. So you were driving your girlfriend's uninsured car.
Correct.
That's going to make my job a whole lot easier. What was your girlfriend driving?
My girlfriend had just had shots in her neck. That's the reason I was driving.
Was she in the car with you?
She was.
Where were you coming from that day, sir?
Me, Mr. Smith, I was coming from Stater Brothers, and I was on my way to exit a parking lot, and I had some people in front of me that was shoppers, so I had to wait till they clear before I make my right-hand turn. And Mr. Maxwell, without paying attention...
Okay, so you were parked in a space, but people were walking in front of you.
No, I wasn't parked. I was already ready to make my right-hand turn. I was already out the...
You mean out of the... You were going out of the parking lot.
I was trying to...
Do you have a diagram to show me?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
I'd like to see where your car was.
Okay.
That would be helpful to me. So I didn't understand it.
My car was right here, like the orange spot.
Had been parked where?
It was parked getting ready to make the right turn in front of Stater Brothers.
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He hit me, Your Honor.
No, he can't have hit you on the side of his car unless it was snowing and he skidded into you. Looked like it was snowing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Smith is suing fellow motorist Gary Maxwell Jr. for backing into his car in a grocery store parking lot.
Okay, Mr. Smith, had your car been parked in the parking lot?
Yes, it has.
show me which spot is the spot where you were parked.
I was parked by right here, like the second parking spot right here.
Okay, so you pulled out of the parking spot and you were ready to exit the parking lot.
Yes, ma'am. And Mr. Maxwell.
And is there, just a second, is what you're telling me the defendant was parked right opposite you and he backed out into your car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have photographs of the damage to your car?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it. Okay. Now point out where the damage was.
Rear end to the rear end tire, right below, right here. Where you open the door,
I
the
see.
rear tire.
Okay, on the side of the car.
Yes, ma'am.
On the driver's side of the car.
But the passenger back by the rear tire.
Yes, I understand. Okay. Any other photographs you want me to see?
If you want to see the whole car, yes, ma'am, I do. You can ask by the wheel. By here, you can see.
Okay, so according to you, the defendant pulled out of the spot. His back bumper went into your driver's side, but the passenger door.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the bill that you got to fix the car showing the $1,000 deductible that you had to pay?
Yes, ma'am.
So they charged you $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And your deductible was $1,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. After this accident happened, according to what I read, the defendant got out of the car. You got out of the car. Did you have a conversation with him?
Yes, it's changed insurance information so I could get my automobile fixed.
And he gave you insurance information.
That was no good. Yes.
I know. I got it. But
Yes.
he gave you an insurance card.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you called to the police station, Mr. Maxwell?
No, I was not.
Well, how did you provide him with a corrected alleged insurance?
The police called me.
After the accident. Okay. So the police called you.
Correct.
And then it was determined that you had no insurance.
Right.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Twitter.
Now, the damage to your car, you say, was on the rear bumper.
Correct. And that was done prior to us owning the vehicle.
So there was absolutely no damage to your car?
Correct. Not from this incident.
Okay. And what part of your car hit the plaintiff's car?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
The damage that he...
Try on this idea. Try on that you owe him for his deductible. You don't drive around in a car without liability insurance. Do you understand?
He hit me, Your Honor.
Liability. No, he can't have hit you on the side of his car unless it was snowing and he skidded into you. He skidded into you sideways. It didn't look like it was snowing.
If you look
California,
at the damage done to his car, it does not look like my car could have done that damage. If you look at the close-up dents, there's no way that bumper could have done that damage. I have pictures showing.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. We're done here. Out. Don't drive a car without insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
What happened after you made the last payment?
Told me the car was gone and then hung up the phone.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing, ma'am.
No, there's something wrong with you. What did you do with the money?
Next Judge Judy.
He was in an accident 2 weeks prior.
The only damages I have is what he put on my truck.
I feel that the dents were done 2 weeks prior to that.
Don't drive without insurance or you'll pay later.
You paid Mr. Cruz $3,200 to purchase the car.
A done deal goes sideways.
What happened after you made the last payment?
Told me the car was gone and then hung up the phone.
I sold the car to someone else.
Now the judge takes him head on.
What is wrong with you?
With me?
I'm looking at you.
Nothing, ma'am.
No, there's something wrong with you. What did you do with the money?
This is Judge Judy. 19-year-old Chloe Raymond Smith is suing Alfonso Cruz for the return of money she paid towards a car he sold to someone else.
Judges, case number 82 on the calendar in the matter of Raymond Smith versus Cruz. Parties have been sworn in.
Ms. Smith, it is your claim that the defendant scammed you out of $3,200 that you paid him for a car that he was selling.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Let's start with how you've located this car.
I looked Facebook Marketplace before. It's just you could buy and sell anything through there.
Miss Smith, you found the car through Facebook Marketplace.
Yes.
Do you have the copy of the ad?
I have it in my phone. I would have to go back, but it got deleted pretty shortly after. So the ad itself after.
Well, why would it get deleted?
After we signed the agreement, the ads got taken down.
This all just happened in September.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a copy of the ad that you put on, sir?
With me, no, I do not.
What do you mean with you? Where is it?
I've never took a picture of it, never took a photo of it. I just took it off the marketplace as agreed on the agreement, and that was it.
Okay. So you found this on Facebook Marketplace a month or so ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. You decided you wanted to buy it. And how did you contact Mr. Cruz?
I messaged him through Facebook.
Do you have that?
Yeah, I have all the...
Just a second. I'd like to see your first contact with him on Facebook.
On Facebook, I would have to go through my phone, but we pretty much used our phone numbers to contact each other through the whole time and make all of our agreements and everything.
Get it.
We got it.
Get me.
We got it. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. And it's going to be the first one right here on the top, and it has the date and everything.
Just a second. Okay. What's the date on that? That's August. Okay. Did you ultimately make an agreement
Yes,
with
ma'am,
the
we
defendant? Did. I'd like to see that agreement.
All right. Here we are. And then I have the other signature. It's just on a separate...
Shh. Just a second. Who wrote this up?
My friend who's a realtor wrote this up for me.
What's the friend's name?
His name is Nick.
Nick what? Nick what?
Oh, my God. I'm blanking on his last name.
Think hard.
I lived with him, and I'm blanking on his name.
Okay, well, we'll just wait until you stop blanking.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why am I blanking on his last name right now? I honestly cannot remember his last name, and I know that's terrible. He's going to... Oh, my God. He's going to be so mad at me. It is in my phone.
We're just going to wait. Why don't you have a seat and look at your phone, figure out the name of this man?
I apologize. Ben. Oh, my God. This is bad that I don't know his name. I'm going through our messages because I just have his contact name as Nick, too. Oh, my God. Oh, no. I'm not entirely sure I know his last name.
Well, why don't you tell me Nick's phone number?
His phone number is 1707.
Does Nicholas Coe or Poe sound familiar to you?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Got it. Well,
he's in Mexico right now, too.
Now, it is your claim that between September and October, you paid Mr. Cruz $3,200, which was the entire amount that you had agreed on to purchase the car. You made payments. I'd like you to show me proof of each one of those payments.
They were made out through Venmo and Zelle, so I have all of them from both of those. And then here is some of them. And then when you're ready.
No, I just want to see Alfonso Cruz. Keep going.
I think this one actually has all the payments on it made. Yeah, and these are confirmation codes.
And the last payment was when?
October 3rd.
And what happened after you made the last payment, Miss Smith?
I went down to because I work full-time and I live 6 hours away, so I made an appointment with my tow company that I have through my mechanic to pick up the car, and I went down there to pick up paperwork and just anything else that the car would have because I know it wasn't running. And then I got down there and I told Alfonso I was going to come over and check out the car, and then he called me and told me the car was gone. And just literally, that's it. Like, told me the car was gone and then hung up the phone.
Had you ever met him before?
No, which I know was not smart on my end.
Is this the first time that you're meeting him?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right, Mr. Cruz?
Yes, ma'am.
What is wrong with you?
With me?
What is wrong with you? With you. I'm looking at you. What is wrong with you?
Nothing, ma'am.
No, there's something wrong with you. What did you do with her money?
Well, I still have it.
What did you do with her money?
I still have it?
You have it?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, why didn't you give it back to her when you sold the car to somebody else?
I told her that she can come and pick up the money, but someone else.
Well, do you have the money with you?
Oh, no, ma'am, no.
Where is it?
Next to my nightstand,
Where
actually.
is it?
Home next to my nightstand. In the envelope.
Really? Who else lives in your home?
My brother, my father. That's about it right now.
Who did you sell the car to?
Close friend.
Really? You getting an appearance fee for appearing on this program today?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so.
Oh, it's not an answer.
That's
what do you mean you believe
told.
so?
That's what I was told. Yes,
How
ma'am.
much?
500?
Well, this is what I'm telling you, Mr. Cruz. We're going to hold your appearance fee until you get the envelope and give it to her. If you don't get the envelope and give it to her, do you understand, Mr. Cruz? Then I'm going to enter a judgment in her favor in the amount of $3,200. You don't get to keep both. We understand each other, Mr. Cruz?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we understand each other, Mr. Cruz?
Yes, ma'am.
This case is over. Goodbye.
Really?
Goodbye. That's it. That's what I'm telling you. Did you understand my ruling clearly?
Oh, yes, I did, ma'am. I just thought there was more to it.
Perfect. Perfect. There's no more to
Agreed.
it. Goodbye.
Bye. Have a great day.
This case is concluded. Parties are excused.
I mean, I knew that I was doing a risky thing to start with.
She wanted me to send it through
Knew that, but, you know, it was one of those things where it was, like, too good.
I don't do that. I just have cash. I'd rather just give it to her up front.
That I just, like, saw that car was looking for so long, and I, like, had to have it.
When she didn't want to come pick it up, she decided just to take me to court.
Cash is king. Meet them in person.
Yeah, just come with cash up front. Cash is king.
All parties in the matter of Riccio versus Joseph. Step to the podium, please.
Paulo Riccio is suing fellow motorist Jerome Joseph for a rear-end collision on the freeway.
Mr. Riccio, this is a car accident.
Yes.
Not an on-purpose, an accident. And you were the first car in a three-car collision. The defendant was the last car.
Yes.
So you are suing him for the cost of the repair to your car.
Yes.
August 28th at what time, sir?
It was around 4 o'clock p.m.
Where?
So it was off of the 91.
Highway, freeway?
Yes, 91 freeway.
What were the weather conditions?
It was clear and sunny.
And what kind of car were you driving, sir?
So I was driving a 2016 white Subaru Forester.
What insurance carrier did you have?
State Farm.
And what kind of car were you driving, Mr. Joseph?
I was driving a Prius at the time.
What year?
I believe that was a 2007 gray Prius.
Did the car belong to you?
Yes.
Registered in car belonged to Mr. Joseph?
My grandmother, but I was mostly driving the car. The car was insured to me.
That's not what I asked you, sir. I'm going to get there. The car belonged to your grandmother.
Yes.
Does it still belong to your grandmother?
No.
Who does it belong to?
The car got in another car accident with my grandmother, and the car is gone now.
The car got into another accident with who driving the car?
My grandmother, and it got totaled.
When was that, sir?
About 3 weeks ago. It's 3 weeks to a month ago.
When you had this accident, Mr. Joseph,
Yes.
the police were at the accident. That's what I gather from the papers. At some point, they showed up at the accident. Did you show them proof of insurance?
No, they never.
It's not an answer.
No, Your Honor.
It's not an answer.
No, Your Honor. They never asked me for to show me proof of my insurance at the time.
Can I see a police report?
I have, Your Honor.
Who has a police report?
I do have the police report here.
Should put it up there.
Sure.
Let me understand this, Mr. Joseph. We're starting with you, sir. The plaintiff. Mr. Joseph, pay attention.
Yes, I am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So you're telling me they asked these two for proof of insurance?
They did not.
Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
I just want to know if that's what you're selling me. I just want to know if that's what you're selling me.
Paulo Riccio claims fellow motorist Jerome Joseph is at fault for a rear-end pileup on the freeway.
Now, you were the third car. I read your answer. it appears from the complaint and your answer that the plaintiff was the first car, traffic was stopped. Your answer says you looked away for 2 seconds. When you looked back, you saw that traffic was stopped. You tried to stop, and you couldn't, and you hit the car that was directly behind the plaintiff's, pushing that car into his. Is that what I'm reading from the complaint and answer, Mr. Joseph?
That's what you're reading, but that's not the truth, Your Honor.
Well, that's what you said. Let's see what you say in your answer. The Infiniti driver, that's the one in front of you, wasn't prepared when the plaintiff braked and ended up slamming into the back of the plaintiff's car. My insurance company, Progressive. Do you have any papers from Progressive, by the way? May I see the police report?
Are you asking it for me?
No.
Oh.
He's got it up there.
Okay.
I'd like to see it. Well, let's just start with this, Mr. Joseph.
Yes.
This first page of the police report lists the 3 drivers of the 3 cars. The driver of car number 1 had insurance with AAA. The plaintiff's car had insurance, according to the police officer, with State Farm. You were asked the same question, and it's written on the police report, none, but not cited. So you're telling me they asked these 2 people for their insurance, but they didn't ask you for proof of insurance?
They did not.
Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you, Your
I
Honor.
just want to know if that's what you're selling me. I just want to know if that's what you're selling me. That they asked the person who got hit first, the second car that was hit by you, they asked them for insurance, but didn't ask you for proof of insurance. I just want to know what you're selling me, Mr. Joseph. That's what you're selling me, right?
What I'm telling
That's
you
right.
is yes, that did happen. And, you know, if they did ask me for my insurance and I did tell them no, don't you think I would have got cited for that as well?
No, not if they were being nice to you.
Oh.
Not if they were being nice to you. They wrote in proof of insurance, none, not cited. So what I'm telling you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Driver 1, that was you, was driving at a speed too great for existing traffic conditions. As a result, P1 could not stop his car, P1 is you, before subsequently colliding rear. Do you think the police made that up?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paulo Riccio claims fellow motorist Jerome Joseph is at fault for a rear-end pileup on the freeway.
Now, let's see the rest of the police report, please.
So the next page will be the statements.
It was in the complaint. P1, that's you, Joseph, stated to the police he looked down for 2 seconds. Did they take your phone, Mr. Joseph?
No.
Did they take your phone? My question is a simple one.
No, they did not take my phone.
Did you tell the police you looked down for 2 seconds? And I tried to brake, but I couldn't. Do you think the police made that up?
No, they didn't. That isn't true. What I had said though at the time.
But if it's not true, Mr. Joseph, then if it's not true, the police officer says he interviewed all 3 people. He said that when he interviewed you at the scene off the highway, determined that it was not a hit and run. He said P1, Joseph, related he looked down for 2 seconds, and when he looked back up, he saw traffic was stopped. He tried to stop, but he couldn't.
Well, yes. I looked down for a second because at the time I was driving for Postmates. Postmates is a delivery service, you delivery food, and that's what I was doing at the time. I was working, and I look at my map. So you looked down
for what?
To look at my map. To look at my map to see where I'm heading to next. Anyways, I seen Mr. Paulo's car in front. Next thing you know, the Infiniti merged in front, went over the two yellow lines, merged in front of me, and that's when I looked up and it's this car just stopped there. And that's when I had to slam on my brakes and at the last minute, and causing it to make a domino effect, causing the Infiniti to hit Paulo's car, or Mr. Paulo.
Let's see the next page, please. Let's see the next page, please. A Toyota.
Yes, a Toyota Prius.
At approximately 35 miles an hour, directly behind Vehicle 2, which was an Infiniti. Vehicle 2, Martin, was stopped directly behind Vehicle 3, which was the plaintiff's Subaru. Driver 1, that was you, was driving at a speed too great for existing traffic conditions. As a result, P1 could not stop his car, P1 is you, before subsequently colliding rear. After all parties were interviewed and waited, Chip. Okay. Is there any other material there? Is that
Yes.
the last page?
No, this is the last page.
Okay. Oh, there is a cause page.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Closed captioning sponsored by... Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now, according to the police that responded to this scene, Mr. Joseph was the cause of the traffic collision. That would be you. And they indicate why. And they cite the traffic code, and they say that you have to travel at a speed that's prudent, giving regard to weather and visibility and traffic, and you can't be looking at a map, looking where you're going to go to make your next food delivery. How much did it cost you to fix your car?
Well, that's the thing, Your Honor. So I had for $678, which I actually sent them via text. But that was, I just kind of wanted to, I had this feeling where I knew it might be pulling teeth to get
Can
money
I see
out of
the
this.
quotes for the? Can I see the quotes for the car?
I have a text message from
That's
the
all. I
shop.
want to see the damage. Do you have the picture of the damage?
Here's a picture of the damages of my vehicle.
Okay, great.
And here's another. I don't know.
Okay, good. I got it. To the back bumper, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you have a bill to fix it?
And here's the bill to fix it. Now, this is just an estimate. Obviously, they have to take apart the whole bumper and check to see if there's any other structural damage to the car.
Listen, I can't. That's not where I go. Shoulda, woulda, coulda is not where I go. If you want to have the car fixed and then come back to court and say I had it fixed, this is what it is. If this is the estimate that you have, which is $1,200, then that's what you're going with. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's up to you. I mean, if they go underneath and find that the whole wheel is out of alignment and the car has to be totaled, I can't help you. Once we resolve this case, we're going to resolve it because the accident was his fault. He wasn't looking where he was going. He couldn't stop in time. He's got to pay for the damage to your car because I assume you only had liability on your car and not collision. Am I correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Judge, very much.
Thank you.
We're done.
Case is concluded. Parties are excused.
And on the next Judge Judy.
I assume you would say, Mom, that's the wrong rent.
English is not her first language.
She's a very smart lady. Money is her secondary language.
Judge Judy.
You can see on the report, you know, I tried to wave down.
When he had mentioned that, he said he flagged us down. There's no way.
The people that were just hit and shoot, they didn't want to follow.
I didn't see him in any hand gestures or anything like that.
And that's when I contacted authorities and they came by.
So my initial thought process was, yeah, he did try to do a hit and run.